So one more game I wanted to bring up here. It's a very important game. I could argue it's the most important game on the Week 1 slate. It's the Minnesota Vikings hosting the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are a team that have had a very, very odd offseason because they kept Aaron Rodgers, which typically should automatically label your offseason as a rip-roaring success. But Davante Adams, well, he's on the team that we just talked about in the Vegas Raiders. There's a lot of folks that think Minnesota can unseat Green Bay. I still don't know if I land ultimately on that side. That is how tough this is to call. The Vikings are plus 240 to win the division. That number, Donnie, is a lot bigger than the plus 108 money line. But who in the world likes the Vikings to win this division and does not like them to win game number 1 against the Green Bay Packers? Because if Aaron Rodgers does what he always does, and that feels like beat up on Kirk Cousins and the Vikings, I'm sure somehow the numbers will say that he's 500 against Kirk and the Vikings, but it certainly doesn't feel like it to me. If you don't like the Vikings here in Week 1, I'm not sure how you like them long term in the division. It's a huge game and will impact that race massively.
It is going to. Doesn't it feel like a referendum game here for the Minnesota Vikings? They win this, you say to yourself, well, they're supposed to win it because they're a good football team. But if they lose it, Kirk Cousins stinks, blow this team up, they can't win it, everybody's on the deadline trader, right? Because you're looking at Aaron Rodgers on the road without his true weapons here. Now, it is game 1. They've been planning for this for months. This isn't as if they just show up on Sunday afternoon, Kevin, and say to themselves, what happened to my wide receivers? They know it's built in. They'll run the football a little bit more, but this is more of a game looking towards the Vikings. Because if Kirk Cousins comes out of the chute game 1 and plays well with those weapons on the outside, Dalvin Cook healthy, who can really get off on the AstroTurf and get after it, I expect them to win this football game. They're getting 2.5. They're an underdog. But I'm coming into this not with the anticipation where let me see what the Packers do. I'm expecting the Vikings to win this because if they don't, the rest of the season, you're just looking at them as the same old Vikings. Now, if they win game 1, there's no necessarily guaranteeing that the Minnesota Vikings win that division. There's a long way to go. But doesn't it feel, as you said, if they lose week 1 to the Packers, they got no shot to win this division, and they're only 0-1.
The Packers right now are minus 155 to win the division. With a win, I think they're above minus 200. With a loss, minus 120 in the division. It's going to be on the move. That's how impactful this game is. Also, I think the Packers are maybe the most interesting prop team on the board week 1. The back-to-back reigning MVP does not have Davante Adams. What does this offense look like?